One way that the Nicene Creed helps Christians at large is providing theological foundations. It provides for us all first principles related to the doctrine of God, doctrine of the church, doctrine of salvation, doctrine of eschatology, especially if we're thinking about the restating of the Nicene Creed at Constantinople. And so what it provides for us is it gives us boundary markers, or it gives us theological categories for us to consider at the foundational level. The second thing that comes to mind is within relation to Christian identity. Early in the early church, several uses of the creed would determine who is in and who is out of the Christian faith. There's an example by Basil of Caesarea that there's a new convert that came to his church, and in rebaptizing him, he had the person restate the Nicene Creed rather than the creed that this person had been brought up on. Maybe one more thing to think about in terms of how the Nicene Creed can aid us in the Christian church is within reference to liturgy. The liturgical function of the creed was rather broad in antiquity, and I think it's something that we can learn from. There would be the uses of the creed at baptism. There would be the uses of the creed for the Eucharist services. There are some traditions whereby the creed would be sung or recited at various parts in the church service. The reason why I mention those is, can you imagine being in a church, your own church, and on a weekly basis, you're reciting this creed both for the church's theological formation, but also your own spiritual formation?